Hello theorists, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're swinging into the history of a game that took the VR world by storm. A game built not on complex graphics or a deep story, but on one simple, primal idea: tag. The story begins with a single developer, a one-man army who goes by the name Another Axiom. More simply, Lemming. He wasn't trying to build the next AAA blockbuster. He was just a programmer with a VR headset, trying to create something that was, above all else, fun. The idea wasn't some grand vision, it was an experiment, a question. What if you moved not with joysticks, but with your arms? The core concept was born to solve a common VR problem: motion sickness. So many games let you run and jump with a controller, which can make your brain feel a little scrambled. Lemming wondered if he could create locomotion that felt more natural, using your own body as the controller. This led to the arm-swinging mechanic and the hand-over-hand climbing. So why gorillas? What animal is best known for powerful arms and climbing prowess? Jumping into the first version of Gorilla Tag was like stepping into a strange, minimalist dream. There was only one map: the forest. Forget sprawling caves, shimmering canyons, or the bustling city you see today. The world was a simple collection of low-poly trees, green hills, and a big, iconic stump. Your avatar was just a solid-colored, blocky gorilla. There were no hats, no badges, no shiny cosmetics to show off. Everyone looked the same, distinguished only by their color. It was a world stripped down to its absolute essentials, and honestly, that was part of its charm. The feeling of that first play session is something early adopters will never forget. There was no tutorial. You were just dropped into this world with two giant gorilla hands. The first few minutes were pure chaos and discovery. Then, instinctively, you'd put your hand on the ground and push. Suddenly, you lurched forward. It was a eureka moment. You learned to run not by pressing a button, but by literally drumming your hands on the ground, one after another. It felt clumsy at first, like a baby learning to walk, but with every push, you got a little faster, a little more confident. Climbing was another revelation. Reach out, grab it with the grip, and pull yourself up. So, what made Gorilla Tag so radically different from every other VR game at the time? The answer lies in one key concept: embodiment. Most VR games were still clinging to traditional video game logic: joysticks and buttons. They gave you a virtual body, but had you control it with joysticks, creating a disconnect. Gorilla Tag threw that entire rulebook out the window. Visual diagram: how a player's arm motion translates to forward movement. You didn't press A to jump. You used your arm muscles to push off the ground. You didn't hold a thumbstick forward to run. You propelled yourself with your own two hands. This was a paradigm shift. Embodiment made the experience incredibly immersive. Because your virtual actions were closely tied to your real-world movements, your brain was more easily tricked into believing you were actually there. This is why the game felt so visceral and thrilling. The speed you achieved was directly proportional to the effort you put in. A frantic swing of your arms could result in a massive leap across a clearing. It made you feel powerful. Skill wasn't about buttons. It was physical, athletic, creative. It was accessible to anyone because the basics were intuitive. Everyone knows how to push and pull. When Gorilla Tag first launched on SideQuest and Steam in early 2021, it was honestly a slow burn. Just a few curious VR enthusiasts stumbled across it, fell in love with the movement, and then told their friends. Content creators discovered it. YouTubers and TikTokers started posting videos of their hilarious, chaotic sessions. The blocky gorillas, frantic movement, and genuine reactions were perfect for short-form video. And then the game just exploded, from niche to viral practically overnight. This sudden influx of players was both a dream and a potential nightmare for a solo developer. Servers buckled under the strain. Crashes became frequent. Lag could make a perfectly timed jump impossible. Lemming worked tirelessly to scale up back-end infrastructure, a trial by fire. It was a monumental task for a solo creator suddenly running one of VR's most popular games. Beyond tech, a wider player base brought a spectrum of behaviors: trolls, cheaters, and toxicity. Maintaining the welcoming atmosphere became a major challenge. Lemming implemented reporting features, mute options, and moderation tools. He became not just a developer, but a community manager for a massive online world. Updates had to be tested and balanced for a hungry audience. Adding maps like caves and canyons required a ton of work. From the very beginning, Gorilla Tag has been a game defined by its players. Because the initial version was so bare bones, the community itself basically became the content. Players invented their own game modes long before any official ones existed. They'd organize infection-style matches, one gorilla is it, and tags others to join their team. They created role-playing scenarios and obstacle course challenges. They even formed impromptu gorilla choirs and built crazy parkour courses. Lemming embraced this collaborative spirit, active in Discord, reading feedback, bug reports, and suggestions. Direct communication created a vital feedback loop between players and developer. Players suggested cosmetics, pointed out map exploits, and debated the physics. Many features came from these discussions. The introduction of hats and accessories was a direct response to community desire. Many player-invented activities were eventually formalized as official features. Infection is now the default mode in public lobbies. The community didn't just play the game, they actively steered its development. Players feel a sense of ownership. They remember when maps were rumors in Discord and when a hat was just a suggestion. The game's history is their history. By trusting his community and building with them, Lemming fostered a powerful feedback loop.